ventriloquist.
You know what? It's amazing. Even like whenever we were doing it and I couldn't see you, I couldn't even see your jaw moving.
Impressive.
It was fantastic. You know what else is fantastic?
Herbie.
Herbie?
The robot from Fantastic.
Oh, thank you. You know who else is, other than Herbie, is fantastic?
Who?
This man! Lord Alfred, if you please.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
I have a question. Do we really need to fulfill these promotional consideration obligations?
Yes, because we gotta keep the Mickey James streak alive. But I guess that wouldn't matter because I just mentioned her name.
Okay, show of hands. I need to know who is actually staying here and has a room here tonight. Who is not in for a long drive on the way home. Boy, not very many. I have bad news for you. We have to read the Shining Wizards Wrestling podcast ad copy. So you'll be here till about next Thursday. Let me take a sip.
I need another PBR, please, Zane.
Excuse me.
He's my handler.
Beer the man, would you?
He's my beer handler. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Brought to the guy, and I have to, as soon as I say this, I want to ask you again. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if they're going to sponsor your new show or not, or if you're looking for it. So I'm going to ask you, and if you, I'll know the truth behind that. Brought to you by the guy who pleasures himself to Blade's burps. Bothersome? Because it is for me.
I have no problem with masturbation in the 21st century.
Of a man. To your...
Of a man, I'm not jerking him off. I'm doing it himself.
Of a man. We probably should not try to prolong this any longer.
I'm trying to be as offensive as I can be.
Should I go into the Jeff Foxworthy voice for the grand finale here? It's the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast. I can't do 12 hours of consideration that way. Join Matt, Eddie, and Tony every Thursday night, and sometimes other nights when they're feeling randy.
Randy.
Not this guy, I can promise you that. For a weekly discussion of everything in the world of wrestling, from the old school to the new school, to the indies to the pros, they run the gamut of professional wrestling and hold nothing back. Tune in and enjoy regular segments such as Now You Effed Up and Stump the Wizards. Okay.
What's that? You playing fucking Jeopardy with like an NBA team? What the fuck you doing?
It's actually a stubby gimmick. It involves a stump.
Actually, this dipshit over here, when I came up with the idea of Stubby being on the show, he misunderstood the word and he said, "Well, wait till you see this main image I got of the dummy." And I pull it up. It says Stumpy the dummy. It's here to say Wrestlecrap Radio. I'm like, dude, it's fucking Stubby. Stumpy. That his fucking great grandfather. His great grandfather was a fucking oak tree that rotted in someone's backyard. I mean. Stumpy. Too bad our show's in. It was Stumpy. I just go in the backyard and talk to a fucking tree.
These are great ideas for the new show. Stump the Wizards! Join the boys for their trips into the Shining Wizards Theater, where they mock the really obscure and horribly bad. Sounds familiar. Yeah. Check out a wide variety of frequent and upcoming guests from groups such as Beyond Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Dragon Gate USA, Shikara, and other independents. Veterans from the old school days of wrestling, as well as fans from the world of stand-up comedy and broadcast radio.
Because when I think of pro wrestling podcasts, I think of stand-up comedy.
That was for them, not for you.
Actually, that's wrong. I mean, everyone's a comedian now. Foley and
Sure.
King Kong Bundy.
Sure.
Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should become a stand-up comedian.
Look at this. We have a 13th listener again. Hope he comes back. Where he's going.
Come back.
For good. Didn't we ask them to make this shorter at some point? For good times, great memories, lots of laughs, and total debauchery, check out the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast. They're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and the worldwide interwebs at www. They're at shiningwizards.com. And of course, the Wizards. See, like you say, join us here. You can't have more ad coverage.
Time out. Do you remember? Time out real quick. Do you remember the Brady Bunch when they brought in this bastard little child with glasses? Do you remember that?
Oliver.
Cousin Oliver.
Cousin Oliver, yes.
I think
yes.
Shining Wizards and like the show like went downhill and was canceled shortly after.
Right.
I think the Shining Wizards are our version of Cousin Oliver. Shortly after these Shining Wizards fucks showed up.
It did go very downhill. And of course, the Wizards are proud to be following in the footsteps of.
See that time out. This fucking line is completely unnecessary. It adds nothing to what the.
Let's critique.
It adds absolutely fucking nothing to make people want to come to listen to the show.
And this is outdated too, because it says Wizards are proud to be following in the footsteps of globalinternet.net, gone. AngryMarks.com, alive, I believe. Correct? I see
Yes.
one man nodding his head solemnly.
I'm here representing the Angry Marks
And
Empire.
the Triller Corporations is the proudest of proud sponsors of Wrestlecrap Radio. Okay, then that should be it has a period right there. No, it continues.
But wait, there's more.
The Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast, wrestling talk, pause or equivalent. Pause equivalent or similar to the Don Mason pause. You're leaving?
Oh.
I didn't heard enough.
Okay. Wait. We can't top that.
He was in that bathroom for quite a long time.
The Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast, wrestling talk, blah blah blah, and talk about wrestling. Exclamation point.
Oh man.
That's really long.
I'm tired now. Now I'm ready for a fucking nap. I'm gonna start dropping F-bombs like all these other shows. Just like constantly.
You know who liked to drop the F-bomb a lot?